This is a good example of what not to do in the landscape. You can see here there's a pretty vast expanse of a bed area in a front yard, but it's in a more of a natural setting. So here in southeastern PA we have a pretty decent problem with deer coming to browse on the plants, and a lot of these plants in here do exhibit deer browsing. You can see right here at the ends of the stems. Focus in right, that's an example of a deer browse. Here's another example of a plant that has been browsed and essentially killed by deer. There's 1, 2, 3, almost 4, 5. This is a great example of deer browsing. You can see right here the kind of grayish brown. It almost looks like a really poorly cut branch, but you can see the kind of the rugged edge of the stems of the plants, and the deer just went to town here. Here's another one here, and basically the way that this landscape should have looked is if the right plants were planted here, deer-resistant plants. All this should have been real nice and full, and at this point in the season, with the types of plants that were planted here, should have given the client nice color, a little bit more of an intimate feel in terms of privacy and aesthetics. But the types of plants that were selected here just aren't the right plants to use. The other good example here of what not to do is to always take a soil test. You can plant any plant you want in the right location, but if the soil's not right, if the pH is a little bit off, or if they're lacking nutrients, and you put the plant in, it exhibits some decline, or it just doesn't grow to the way it's supposed to grow. So what we are going to do here at Orser Landscaping is take an inventory of what types of plants that the deer have browsed on, and also take soil samples of different areas on the property, in the beds and in the turf. And we have an in-house soil testing system, so we will test that for the proper nutrients and the pH levels, and then suggest to the client what needs to be done in order to correct this. If there is any conditions in the soil that aren't optimal for plants, we would come in and amend the soil, and then come in and plant deer-resistant plants. So again, as you can see here at this point, the bed is just really looking bare and sparse, and that's because of the deer coming in and eating the plants. And as well, there might be some soil conditions here that really aren't ideal for the types of plants to be put in here. The other issue is that these big mature looking trees a lot of times suck up the nutrients that these smaller plants need to grow and thrive. So again, proper plant selection. You know, these bigger trees have some implications on the pH and the soil. So again, we would come in here based on the soil results and amend the soil to where they need be to get these plants growing. And what we're going to do is just come in and, I mean, all these plants have to get ripped out. You can see here another one, just a great example of a deer browsing on the plant, and this is what it looks like when a deer browses on a plant right here. So if you have any concerns and issues about deer browsing on your plants, or if you think your plants haven't browsed, give Orser Landscaping a call, and we'll gladly come out to assess your plants